I think Dave Rossi can try to come down to it.
More than once I've offered to fight them, so I just stay
Oh,
away.
yeah. Yeah, he sounded really, really good.
They don't know what you're talking about. They get mouthy. They puff up. I'm not that old official.
He can't drive. They took the keys away from him.
All right, it's 5:30. I'd like to call a meeting to order.
Roll call. Commissioner Spillman,
Here.
Commissioner Stover,
Here.
Commissioner Tweedy,
Here.
Commissioner Warren,
Here.
Mayor Beeson.
Present. Invocation will be given by Josh White.
Lord, we thank you for bringing us here today for this meeting. We thank you for this rain we've had recently. We ask you to keep us safe as the storms, with all the winds coming. We just ask you to keep us safe from that. I also ask you to be with us as we go through this meeting. And we want to say a special request for Mr. Dawson today. As we're recognizing him. But just ask you, anybody that's going to speak today, that they can speak clearly and that they would, the city commission will be able to understand what their concerns are and be able to make contributions.
Amen.
If you'd like to join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Additions, deletions?
Yes, Mayor, we would like to add awards and proclamation item number 1. So it'd be proclaim March 23rd, 2025 as Bill Docking Day in Arkansas City, Kansas.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Approved. We need the approval of the agenda, or is that it?
Approval of
Okay,
the
let's do the approval of the agenda then.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Okay, I'd like to call up Union State Bank President and CEO Eric Kurtz.
I'll also ask any other employees.
That is fine.
If you don't mind, if that's as well.
Absolutely.
Come up.
The more the merrier.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Whereas Bill Dogging has demonstrated outstanding leadership, dedication, and service to the Arkansas City community, making significant contributions to the betterment of our city and its residents. And whereas following a long and distinguished career in the banking industry, William R. Bill Dogging marked his final day of service on February 4th, 2025, during which he demonstrated outstanding leadership, integrity, and deep commitment to financial stewardship, economic growth, and the prosperity of our community. And whereas his civic engagement and professional achievements have positively impacted the city of Arkansas City, community, and Union State Bank alike, leaving a lasting legacy that will benefit future generations. And whereas the city of Arkansas City and its residents deeply appreciate and recognize Bill Dogging's dedication and invaluable service to our community, both through his leadership in the financial sector and his unwavering commitment to public service. And now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Chad Beasley, Mayor of the City of Arkansas City, do hereby proclaim March 23rd, 2025 as Bill Dogging Day in the city of Arkansas City, and encourage the community to join our efforts in any way that is personally needed.
Thank you. All right, appreciate it. I know you can't be here tonight, but he cares deeply about this community. I can assure you. When you look across the community, and you look at Cowley County, you look at Berkshire Theater, you look at the hospital, he's touched a lot of those institutions tell you, he never did any of that work to receive this proclamation. That's not just, but I can assure you that, Bill did it because he does care for the community. But with that said, I know he'll greatly appreciate the proclamation from the city of Park City. It will mean a lot to him. So we're going to be pleased to present him this. I know that he cares about this community a lot, and I know he's thankful for the honor that you guys have bestowed upon him. So appreciate that. Thank you very much. So,
Yeah.
Recognition of visitors and staff.
Item number 1, recognize Human Resource Director Marla McFarland as a 2025 HR Professionals Award recipient by the Wichita Business Journal.
So Commissioner, we were fortunate enough that Marla was selected as the Wichita Business Journal's one of the HR of the Year awards. And so on February 13th, we were able to go to Wichita and celebrate with her with a lot of other HR personnel from around the area and city staff. And it was just a really nice time. And so we just really wanted to recognize Marla for that recognition. And we have a top-notch staff here, as you guys know, and she's in the HR world, she's top of the heap there, so she does a great job for us. So I just wanted to make sure that we recognize her for that. And
Thank you very much. I do work with a lot of wonderful people, and that makes it very nice. So, just thank you. I'm very humbled.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Consent agenda.
Approve the February 18th, 2025 regular meeting minutes as written. Approve the new cereal malt beverage C&B license for Burger Junkie located at 611 West Madison Street. And rectify Mayor Chad Beeson's reappointment of Kevin Tierney's to the Outstanding Student Award Committee.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as written.
Second.
Any discussion? Charlie?
Did you get a hold of Kevin?
Yes,
Okay.
I spoke with the board. Yeah. He's we're actually getting ready to do Outstanding Student Award interviews. So yeah, he's on board. So.
Any other discussion? Do we have a second?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I did.
Yep. Nope, you're good.
All right,
Those
all in
things.
favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Consent agenda passes. New business.
City Manager Department, item number 1 is an ordinance adopting the budgeted pay plan to become effective March 8th, 2025.
Mayor, Commissioners, again, Kyle will probably do most of the speaking on this, but as you know, we try to be as flexible as possible and react quickly if we see issues, or maybe I should say just be proactive on the organization of our departments. And so Kyle has analyzed part of the Environmental Services Department. Primarily, we're looking at the Distribution and Collections Division. And he has determined that it might be better to, they've currently been a maintenance worker, but it's distribution and collection both together. Kyle thinks we might want to separate that.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the commission. I'll just kind of read off what I read here. Within the distribution collections department, the sewer system has often been overlooked. And so separating the two into maintenance worker collections, worker distribution will hopefully help assign responsibility to people to take care of one side or the other instead of everybody merging on one issue.
It there's been a lot of confusion by doing it that way.
Correct.
People can't point fingers saying he was supposed to take care of it when they were supposed to, or.
Absolutely.
But in a major emergency, they can cross over, right?
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It'll happen kind of under the same. But this kind of lays the groundwork, the foundation of building the department in such a way that we will be able to take care of that site before we go to the other. I know Randy mentioned in our work session earlier, working on the sewer study, this kind of gives it the opening to add more people on the collection side.
So there's really no change to the budget the way it's presented.
That is
It's just
correct.
changing department.
Yes, sir. So the reason you've got a pay ordinance in front of you tonight is because they will have a different job title because we are separating them. That's all it is. And then, of course, we have the difference in the pay ordinance. And we will be working on, are working on job descriptions and separating those duties. But the dedication of staff to what these gentlemen has felt has been kind of overlooked system, we think Kyle Pitts will help.
Well, that being said, I make a motion that ordinance adopting the budget pay plan to become effective March 8th, 2025.
Second.
And it's roll call vote.
Commissioner Spillman,
Yes.
Commissioner Stover,
Yes.
Commissioner Tweedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes,
Mayor Beeson.
Yes.
Thank you all
I think
very
that's a
much.
great
Thank you.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah, great job.
thank you.
Item number 2 is a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to transfer property located at 426 South Summit Street to the Arkansas City Land Bank.
We got land bank on the brain, hopefully. So this should make sense. So the Neighborhood Services has been working with the property owner there at 426 South Summit, the townhouse motel. So what was ultimately decided is instead of us continuing enforcement action against them, that they would just transfer the property to the city. Well, after staff looked at that, we thought it might be more appropriate if it's in the land bank. That will help. Number one, it'll help us with tax exemption status. If we hold on to that property very long, it'll be nice to be able to easily get that into that status. We're not going to be utilizing it as an income producing facility while we own it. This also, I think I kind of want to move into this where the land bank is kind of where we put all of our property, and we just kind of use that as the avenue to transfer it. The one thing we're probably not going to do though is that 101 acre parcel in its current condition. That doesn't really make sense right now. But anyways, that's what's going on today. It's just simply moving it from the city as a whole into the land bank.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we authorize the city of Arkansas City to transfer the property located at 426 South Summit Street to the Arkansas City Land Bank.
Second. I think it makes sense. So, any other discussion?
So
Yeah.
Josh, if it gets to the point where we demolish, are we going to touch the rooms to the north? Because Mike said those were in pretty good shape. The foundations underneath are pretty secure.
We'll analyze that when the time comes. We've used Patrick Stewart, the engineer up in Winfield, to kind of look at that property. So when it comes time, if we do indeed end up demolishing it, we'll look at that and see what can be done with that property.
I know the parking lot's in bad
It's the
shape.
parking lot they were in trouble with.
Even the old office,
To
that's
the south.
it's really not that big of a problem. But most likely, if anybody's going to redevelop it,
They'd have to put a
probably
new-
going to tear the whole thing down
Yeah.
to dirt.
Well, I'm glad we were able to get that because the people out of California wasn't going to do anything with it. And we've been working with them for 4 or 5 years and they just would never come through. And, they weren't truthful about what they're wanting to do and stuff. So at least it's in the hands of the city now. And I think somebody's going to come along and take a look at it, so.
Got a lead or two.
Yeah.
All right, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? It carries. Thank you.
Item number 3 is a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to enter into an independent contractor service agreement, addendum number 3, with N.M. Iverson Jr. for municipal court services.
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to have to refrain from voting on this because I have a conflict of interest. My son-in-law is Rod Iverson's grandfather, so I can't. I'm just going to have to refrain from voting. I'll just step out while you guys.
Even on NM?
You can do NMs.
No,
Okay, well,
they're all related.
but you don't have to step out. Just don't say anything.
Yeah, whatever.
You can refrain by just. not-
Okay, I'm
yeah.
going to refrain.
Okay,
So this addendum is exact, it doesn't change any of the terms of the contract except for it'd be a 5% increase from where they were at. So
we do this every year, and we did this last year also, didn't we?
Yeah. their request this year though is for a 3-year term. And so that would be the other change and this would be this would be a 3-year term on this one. All of the parts of the agreement stay the same.
Do you have any issue with that?
Make a motion that we approve a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to enter into an independent contractor service agreement, amendment number 3, with N.M. Iverson Jr. with municipal court judge services.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 4.
A resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to enter into an independent contractor service agreement, addendum number 3, with E. Rodney Iverson for municipal court judge services.
And again, same terms. And as a reminder, they each serve basically 1 month at a time, every other month.
Do we put this out for bid?
No.
Should we?
I don't know that we would, I don't know. Oh, we got one.
We're not gonna find anybody.
Okay, well, that was
Yeah,
my,
just-
that was
just
my,
to say it.
When we looked for the city attorney, we got one from Winfield.
Yeah,
We
that
didn't
was
have
my-
anybody
yeah.
else there.
Prosecutor.
Prosecutor, I'm sorry.
But, well, even back when I was interim and we were looking for someone, everyone came from the outside and it was actually granted to someone else who decided that they didn't want to travel.
Yeah.
And all of
Yeah.
that, so.
just want to clarify that we try at times.
Well noted. Okay,
I move that we approve a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to enter into an independent contractor service agreement, addendum number 3, with E. Rodney Iverson, municipal court judge services.
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Approved. Environmental Services Department.
Item number 1 is a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to accept a bid submitted by White Star Machinery and Supply to purchase a new Bobcat mini excavator for an amount not to exceed $62,346.
Good evening again. The current mini excavator we have is 17 years old. And it's lived past its useful life. It's a machine that's used every single day within the department. And so it's just upgrading that machine to a newer one.
Will you keep that machine or are you going to get rid of it or?
We'll keep it currently.
Okay.
Planning on trying to use it for the line replacement project
Okay.
as a side machine. So just having more available.
If it goes down, I'm sure the street department will sweep it up. Yeah. So, okay, and it's budgeted?
Yes. It was actually, we had a flatbed, but the flatbed still has quite a few years left in it. So we went with a machine that needed more as well.
Sounds fair. That makes sense. Sounds fair.
Well, that being said, I make a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to accept a bid submitted by White Star Machinery and Supply to purchase a new Bobcat mini excavator for amount not to exceed $62,346.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, thank you. Reports.
Okay, commissioners. I wanted to remind you all or make you aware of the Outstanding Student Awards is coming up here soon. So there will be a reception on April 8th at 6 p.m. That'll be at the Wright Room in the Brown Center.
And then the banquet will be April 21st at 6:30 in the Brown Center. So that's always a nice event, honoring, recognizing the outstanding students and all the great youth that we have in our community. So hope you can make it for that. And I'm sure you'll all be receiving invitations soon, but just wanted to get you to reserve that on your
They still
calendar.
have to do a dinner, don't they, and stuff?
Yeah, they do. So on the 8th will be a reception where they kind of announce all the kids and then some cookies and stuff. And then they'll announce the winners at the banquet. And yeah, it'll be a meal. And so then I want to remind you all that the local government network that WSU puts on has their economic development series, 13 Ways to Kill a Community. We can do that as a group on April 10th. Well, it starts April 10th, will be the first session. Then there'll be several sessions after that, I think 6 altogether. We can set that up as a work session where you guys can watch together and that way you can talk about things and
What's that, about an hour thing?
yeah, it'll be an hour. So from noon to 1, we'll come up with
That'd be
some
nice
lunch
to
or
do that
something.
work session.
Yeah. And then the City Leaders Academy is coming up, and that's a league event. And so this year it's an advanced program since we're not coming off an election. So they'll have some, usually on the election years they have more introductory stuff to help new electeds kind of get their feet under them. This would be more advanced programming, ADA, and some generational type topics. Generational workforce topics are on the agenda. So April 11th through 12th. It'll be in Lawrence. If you're interested, let us know by March 10th and we'll get you registered and get a room for you. I got an update on the Land Water Conservation Fund grant for Wilson Park Pickleball Park or courts. So this grant is, it was approved at the state level, went to the federal level for their approval, and then it got caught up in the spending reviews that's going on at the federal level right now. So we're still in play. It's just not going to be awarded as soon as we'd hoped. So they're hoping for late summer for the award to come out. So we'll keep watching for updates on that and keep you updated on that. Senate Bill 117, that's a bill for Strotherfield on the taxation issues that are going on out there. So that passed the Senate, got through turnaround, and now it's at the House Tax Committee. So there'll be a hearing on March 6th at 3:30. So it'll be the Thursday. So I'll go up there and testify on that, and Taggart Wall, the city manager in Winfield, will be there as well. So we'll hopefully try to get that moved through the House and get that approved. The auditors were here on the 20th, and everything went really well. They haven't asked for a whole lot of updates or additional information. So we have a budget or a work session coming up in the near future where the auditor will be here and present the audit to you. So, and then yesterday actually, Kyle and myself and Nick met with PEC in Wichita, talk about upcoming grant programs and projects that we want to start looking at. One of the things on the streets side, we want to start taking a high level look at 8th Street now, start seeing what needs to happen there, what kind of work it's going to take, what our limitations are with easements and things. And then we kind of put together an estimated budget of what it's going to cost to make 8th Street what it needs to be. So
This
again,
is up north of Radio Lane.
yeah,
Between Skyline.
all those areas out there where there's, So
You're gonna have PEC do that for you?
yeah. So what that'll do is it'll give us some budget numbers, some idea of what we need to do there, what our limitations are, because there's already houses out there. You're already locked in on the amount of right of way you can have in some of those areas. So we'll have to look at storm drainage and pedestrian walking, and then potential growth out there and in and out, and there's already a lot of traffic now with Creekstone and that. So again, this isn't something that's going to happen next year or the year after, but this will give us a good idea of what we need to be looking at, the kind of money we're going to need to be looking for, and then when opportunities arise, hopefully we can pull that together. So, and then I think Kyle identified some projects and things and how to go about doing some different things with the water system and the master plan. So it was a good meeting. I think we got a lot of good out of it, and we're really enjoying our working relationship with PEC. It's been a good partnership with them.
Then today we had a pre-construction meeting on well 15. So they're getting ready to kick that off. I think they're going to mobilize next week. They've already done the drilling and that type of thing. This will be building the platform. Yeah. And then getting the well set up and working. So
That's gonna be a heck of a well.
yeah. And what kind of in what we need about March. So is in May, we need to have that kind of up and running enough to get some samples so we'll have to get that tested through the state. They want to make sure that it's not affected by surface water. And so there's some testing that has to happen. And it has to be during kind of the rainy season. So hopefully we'll get some rain. Let's keep going and give us some good flows and get the testing that we need out of that. I'm waiting on Kuhn Mechanicals working on the bid for the emergency repair underneath the tracks. I'm also putting together a bid on the sewer that needs to go under the tracks for the travel center, and they're working on the permitting that we need for both projects together. So he told me he'd have some numbers for me this week. So waiting on that. So we haven't got anything back.
Are we still manually doing that clean out every day,
Yeah,
2 or 3 times a day?
We're just checking it every day and then flushing it.
Okay.
It's not very,
So what's the time frame on that?
Well,
We don't know.
we're kind of in the holding pattern with the railroad to approve permitting.
Yeah.
So they've made contact with the railroad, and it's kind of in their court now with their attorneys and all that. So
It might take a year for them to do that.
yeah,
I say we just shove a big old hole underneath there and let's get it going.
Yeah.
Can't tell, I mean, it's easier to get permission or forgiveness than permission,
so we'll keep
especially with the railroad.
we'll keep working on that.
Yeah.
And then this Friday we have a meeting with Crossroads Construction for a budget review on the fire station renovation. So trying to bring the cost of construction and what we have available through the budgeted bond payment to a place where we can make it work. So we're close. It's going to work, but so we're pulling that together. So that's something we would kind of have in place by the time we hit budget season here, so that we have the numbers that we have a bond number and how much we need to budget for the bond payments and stuff. So then we had our on the equipment that you approved last month or last meeting. We had 3 bids on leases. RCB had the lowest interest rate at 4.63. Union State had a 5.03, and Community National had 5.99. So those leases will go to RCB. And was able to get a signature on the sales agreement for the East Pressure Zone water tower property
Nice.
Friday. So PEC is working on getting the surveyors out and getting all that stuff done, and so we'll get that engineering moving forward.
$300,000 putting in that spot versus where we had before.
Well, all I know is I've seen several citizens say, hey, when is this gonna happen? And
Yeah.
I keep telling them, I promise you it's in the works, so it's good to
Yeah.
hear it got signed.
So yeah. So we'll have that hopefully get that property purchased here in the next month or two. Get through that process, but we got the sales agreement and we're working on the surveying and stuff. I gave you guys a copy of the environmental services report. That's the report on what the collection distribution guys have been working on in the 2 water plants. So, and then finally, there's a budget calendar in front of you, and we worked with Jennifer, Tiffany and Jennifer and I sat down today and kind of hammered that out. So if you guys have some problems with it, let us know. We can make some changes. But kind of the points where we need to really, you guys need to focus on, it'd be the May 30th work session. That'd be that budget retreat that we usually do, kind of go through with all the department heads and everything again. So that would be, at least half a day or a full day. We can talk about the length of that coming up. And then on June 6th, we have another budget work session. That would be with the outside agencies that are requesting funding. And then on July 11th, we have another budget work session where we kind of bring all that information back to you guys and kind of what the budget looks like. And then that's when you guys can start rolling up your sleeves and making those hard decisions on what stays and goes. And then, then on the 15th of July is when we need to have the, notice to exceed, the R&R and set dates for R&R budget hearings. So, again, we would, even if you want to stay R&R, we would still recommend that we vote to exceed it and then work through those issues afterwards. But so that's kind of where we're at on the budget calendar. So let us know if there's anything that doesn't work for you as a group. But pretty much the similar process we've done the last couple of years. So unless they change something again this legislative session. But
A question. By budget time, will we have our, what we're doing with the employees? Whether we need to make arrangements?
So Marla already left, but that they've started that process now, and I think they were told her about a 90-day. So we got about 3 months for that to come around. So before we get too far, I mean, we should have that information before you have to actually hammer down and say this is the budget. So it might be getting in later in the budget session, but. And that's all I've got tonight.
Thank you, sir. Items for discussion by city commissioners.
I don't have anything.
Comments from the audience? No? Want to give you the option?
Yeah. I'll make a motion.
Go ahead.
She'll second.
Adjourned.
Second it.
All right, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you.
I'm getting hungry.
There you go.
Pancakes.